Alrighty, gamers, we have the patch notes for the upcoming update tonight. It's going to go live at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday morning. We're going to have maintenance as of 7 p.m. tonight, so, you know, you can do your dailies ahead of time. There isn't really anything in the update that requires you to save your dailies. Just save, I guess, one run so that you can try to unlock Juggernaut and Dr. Voodoo's second potential. I guess you could also leave another run if you wanted to build Black Knight, or at least another spot, whatever. If you wanted to build Black Knight because he's a new character and you wanted to get his first potential so you could get him to tier 3. As far as the patch notes go, this is going to look like a mid-month update because in terms of the quantity and to a lesser extent the quality of the content, it is like a mid-month. So we are now at the point in Marvel Future Fight's lifespan where the main updates feel like the mid-month updates. I don't know what part of the fun, you know, roller coaster ride this is, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I want to get off soon. Anyways, Black Knight is going to be a combat hero, human male. He's going to be a premium character, but there will be an event. You can see the 8/26, August 26th, Savage Avengers event quest. Presumably, you'll be able to trade some of the tokens you get from that event quest for 5 bios to unlock him. So he will be unlockable for free, at least temporarily. As far as his abilities, he looks like a pretty good support character for PvP, believe it or not, mainly because of his protection of the Lady of the Lake passive, where he gives all allies 40% increased HP and then 50% reflect reduction. So he doesn't give reflect to allies, but he basically reduces the amount of reflect that allies take. And if this sounds familiar, it's because America Chavez has the exact same ability. So if we go in-game to Chavez right now, we can see that she has this ability on, I believe, her uniform. So it's good that they're giving abilities to characters that were on uniforms from 3 years ago. It's good to see that power creep doesn't exist in this game. It would be a shame if power creep existed. Yeah, it's good that we don't have it. So if you bought this uniform 3 years ago, congratulations. You can now just get it on another character for whatever that's worth. But yeah, 40% increase HP to allies and then reduce reflect by 50%. So it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as America Chavez's uniform passive from 3 years ago. Yes, from 3 whole years ago. But it's good. It's still good. And if Black Knight is a better character than Chavez, because he does have iframe ignore with a counterattack with accumulation. If he is better than America Chavez, I mean, she also does have, by the way, she does have a counterattack iframe ignore skill with accumulation. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. Is Black Knight just a copy-paste of America Chavez, but male instead of female? You decide. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Anyways, he's also got 30% damage reduction, skill damage, bonus damage, you know, super armor, all defense, so that's cool. And then he's got a 30% heal with invincibility on his 5th skill. He looks decent for a new character. He looks decent, but obviously not being tier 4 means that he can only really be a support. But he will be a useful support because America Chavez is being used at a high level for at least Team Battle Arena. So if you struggle against Silver Surfer, if you struggle against like double reflect teams, triple reflect teams, reducing the amount of reflect you take is actually pretty good. Then we get the 3 new uniforms for Ghost Rider, Juggernaut, and Dr. Voodoo. Ghost Rider remains a universal hero. He keeps the leadership flame abilities. His uniform effect gives him 10% chain hit, and then the all defense and 40% super armor and 40% all defense. They did say that this uniform was going to be PvE, but the super armor all defense is a brand new stat. So they did give him like a decent upgrade there because he that's just a brand new super armor, and the 40% all defense is all brand new. His vengeance passive is exactly the same, 90/30. His hero's wrath passive is exactly the same, so none of that has changed. And then for his skills, the main thing to note, nothing has really changed in an important way. The main thing to note is that his he lost the heal on his 3rd skill. They moved it. His fourth skill has a lower cooldown now. Instead of 17 seconds, it's 14 seconds. So that's good because he can do Chain Fist more often, and that's the iframe ignore. That's the big damage, the big burst damage skill. And then they moved the heal onto his fifth skill. So it used to be on his third skill. Now the heal is on his fifth skill. And that's basically it. They also increased the attack buff that he gets from 20% to 35%. But they kept the 18-second cooldown there. So, yeah, everything else for Ghost Rider is basically the same. Has new animations, which are really cool. Has the spider, which is really cool. But it's basically just the cooldown on his fourth skill that matters. And the fact that they moved the heal from his third skill to his fifth skill. Otherwise, might not be that different before. We're going to have to see kind of in-game how many hits he has, how much damage those hits do. That's going to be really where we tell if this uniform is better than the one from 2 years ago. You see a lot of patterns here. A new character compared to a uniform from 3 years ago. A new uniform compared to an old uniform from 2 years ago. It's almost like the current set of devs have absolutely no clue what they're doing. And what they end up coming up with is stuff that we had 2 or 3 years ago, making the game feel like it's already dead. But what do I know? Anyways, we're on to Juggernaut now, and he is actually going to be a combat hero. We were kind of freaking out about this on the live stream, and then they apologized and said that they made a mistake, and it was for Black Knight, but turns out they are also turning him into a hero. He's still a mutant, so that hasn't changed. He still has destruction as his instinct because he was originally a villain, but yes, they are turning Juggernaut into a hero, so that is pretty interesting. He has 3 abilities: strong, durability, and evil. And then he's going to get the following uniform effect. 30% HP, reduces reflect by 55%, and then the skill damage bonus damage. The skill damage bonus damage is just increased from his old uniform. He loses the 30% ignore defense, and then the 30% HP is exactly the same. But the reflect reduction is brand new. So he actually never had that before, and he's getting 55% reflect reduction. So that is pretty nice to try to deal with those pesky reflect characters. Sidorak's avatar, his tier 2 passive is exactly the same, hasn't changed at all. And then his Can't Stop Me passive is a bit improved. It used to be 40% damage reduction, 20% all defense and super armor. Now it is 20% 20% all defense with super armor, 40% damage reduction, and then 30% ignore dodge. So they basically moved one of the stats over from his uniform to his passive. As far as his skills go, pretty straightforward. He has the accumulation still on his third skill that he lost the V-pad on, but that's fine. It's still damage received, so he has to take damage in order for that to happen. His fourth skill still has the iframe ignore and still does not have penetration. So yes, Juggernaut does not have any penetration. The iframe ignore having the 30% heal is nice, but it doesn't have invincibility or immunity, which is bad. And then his fifth skill has the invincibility and the 50% damage proc for 2 attacks for 8 seconds. And then they actually increased his cooldowns. So they increased his fourth skill cooldown by 1 second and his fifth skill cooldown by 2 seconds. So yeah, not really sure how much better Juggernaut's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. And then we have Dr. Voodoo, Savage Avengers. He's probably getting the most notable increase. And this is essentially because they are turning him into a full-time support character. And I'm here for it because at least he'll be useful. So he's now getting a uniform effect that increases Universal Allies, increases damage dealt to villains by 50%, and decreases damage received from villains by 20%. So this is mostly PvE, but it can be used for PvP. It's not bad at all. His leadership is still the debuff all attack. And then his tier 2 passive also gives allies ignore dodge. So ignore dodge plus 50% increased damage to villains is going to mean that Voodoo is going to be a much better support than characters like Angela and these other ones, possibly even Richard Rider Nova if you don't have his artifact, because all of these uniform effects don't, and like abilities, don't need him to be in the leadership slot. So keep that. He has a good leadership mainly for dispatch, but his 2 passives that he has on his tier 2 and his uniform don't require him to be in the lead for that. The rest of his passive, Voodoo Ritual, is pretty bad, and it stays the same as before. And then, yeah, the rest of his skills are pretty straightforward. They did bring back the V-pad from his base kit, which is nice, and it does have the 30% heal, which is up from 25%. He has the accumulation, and it still is a 15-second skill, which is cool. but I don't really expect Dr. Voodoo to be crazy damage-wise because he is kind of clearly a support character now. So that is what it is. Dr. Voodoo and Juggernaut are also getting their tier 4, and they basically just, they're like, yeah, we're so fucking lazy. We're just going to copy and paste, and they're both just going to have the exact same tier 4 skill. So that's really cool. It's really nice to see the devs just giving absolutely no shit, no care in the world. The numbers are different, you know, the numbers are different, so that's cool. But yeah, Juggernaut gets 55% attack for 7 seconds, whereas Dr. Voodoo gets 70% attack for 10 seconds. And then Juggernaut gets increased damage dealt to enemies with 50% HP or lower by 60% for 7 seconds. And Dr. Voodoo gets basic damage dealt to enemies with 50% HP or lower by 70% for 10 seconds. Yeah. Really cool stuff. Really just makes me excited to tier 4 these characters because they're the same, right? Yeah, because Dr. Voodoo and Juggernaut have so much in common. So they should have the same tier 4 abilities. Remember when tier 2 abilities were brand new and every character got a different one? Remember when tier 3 abilities... Okay, I'll stop. Black Knight's getting his tier 3. He gets invincibility. He gets 80% ignore dodge, and he gets an attack buff. And it's a cool animation. I'll give them that. It's a cool animation. Daisy Johnson, a.k.a. Quake, Mockingbird, and Agent 13 are getting their Transcendence. So, yeah. Fewer tier 2 characters in the game. Closer to tier 5. Whatever that's worth. We have a new lobby change theme feature. A lot of words that mean nothing. You can change what the main lobby looks like. For all of those players who go catatonic on the main menu, have a seizure or a meltdown or whatever, you can now change what it looks like. So when you're stroking out, you can get different views. Some of these will be purchasable through gold. Some of them will be purchasable through crystals and other currencies. Yeah, you can kiss my shiny metal ass if you think I'm going to spend crystals or other currencies on the main menu screen. The main menu screen is basically to bombard us with shitty ads and shitty pop-ups that we have to press X on. And then for me to sometimes get screenshots for characters to use on thumbnails when I'm really feeling very Netmarble and I want to just, you know, phone home some kind of bad thumbnail. Anyways, whatever. The new artifacts, you've got Cursed Knight. Is actually really good artifact, at least at 6 stars, because it is the similar effect of Black Swan's passive, and it's also the same artifact that X23 and Dakin has. When he drops below 50%, he'll basically be immune to basic damage. He'll ignore basic damage for up to 5 seconds. It'll be really bad at 3 stars. It'll be like 2 seconds, right? And it goes up by 1 second each star. And then it'll increase his damage dealt and decrease his damage received for an additional amount of time. Or no, for the 5 seconds as he takes damage that he's ignoring. So yeah, it's almost like it's like a pseudo immortality. It's quite nice. Daisy Johnson gets all attack, which is terrible. Mockingbird gets a mixture of all attack and all dodge, which is good. And then Agent 13 gets ignore dodge and all attack, which is pretty bad. Then we have the new Future Pass. They're adding some additional rewards for the pay piggies out there. So oink oink if you want to give your money to Netmarble because shiny, shiny avatar, cool. Wow, look, so nice. So yeah, if that compels you to spend money, then you get some extra stuff for free. You get some extra stuff, so that's cool. And then we have the new uniform collection, dispelling any rumors or myths that we're gonna get a part 2 for the Savage Avengers, because why treat any update like it matters, right? It's all every update's basically just a mid-month update at this point, right? Right, guys? Yeah. Oh, we got the new packs, yay! We got the new loyalty program thing, yay! Then we have some quality of life stuff, so this is cool. They're gonna allow you to just auto through all of the story mode stages rather than having to go into each separate theme. Like Dimensional Clash, Future Ends Here, All War. You can just start from 1-1 and end on 13-3. That would work if you didn't have to use different teams to get through it. For example, you sort of have to, use Sylvie lead here, because otherwise on one of these stages near the end, it uses somebody else and they shit themselves. Yeah, Silver Surfer kills himself to reflect. That's cool. But then on the All War, you have to use Human Torch lead. Otherwise, Colossus will take like 45 minutes because he does 1 damage. Unless you switch out his uniform and nerf him for other content that you're using him in. So yeah, it's a decent quality of life improvement. I'm like, it's good, but it's also at odds with the terrible design choices that the devs use with selecting characters for the bonus fragments in story mode. They're also nerfing some of the story mode ultimate effects like reflect and damage immunity because story mode is too difficult, so they're making it easier. Don't you love it when a game doesn't power creep for like a year and they also make the game that was already really easy even easier? Watch as Marvel Future Fight descends into some hyper casual dog shit. Yeah, okay. And then one of the only genuinely good things about this update is that they're adding these items. They're taking out the old items, and they're adding in these new items to the Timeline Battle Shop. They didn't show the regular Timeline Battle Shop, but it will be revamped as well. So this shop will be revamped after the update. So I would highly recommend that you do not spend your tokens because they're going to make this better. Okay, so just save your tokens. Don't spend them. And then they're also going to be making this shop better. Again, I highly recommend you save your tokens. If you are under any impression that these rewards are better than these rewards, I don't have time to explain it. I don't have the passion to explain it, but it's not. So just trust me. I mean, listen, you can do whatever you want. You want to blow your tokens now? Sure, knock yourself out, but don't say we didn't warn you. These rewards are much better. They're still pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. 100. Just so that we know that we're talking about 100. Okay. A week. I'm probably only just going to be buying the Odin's Blessing and maybe the Power of Demiurge. Even the Godstone is pretty bad. 35 is really, really low. But at least it's better than nothing. Like, this is not great, but to put it into perspective, I stopped collecting these tokens like 2 years ago because they were just worthless to me. So I should have like 150,000 of these tokens or something. But I basically just stopped voting for anyone in Timeline Battle because A, I couldn't be bothered to find out who I needed to vote for 2 minutes before the weekly reset, and B, I would have rather spend those 5,000 tokens on feathers to then craft into cards for stuff like my agent level. So they are making this better. Unfortunately, this means I'll have to start voting in Timeline. Unfortunately, this means I'll have to start giving a shit about the Challenger Timeline, which is cringe as hell. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I don't, and maybe we can just, ride out the rest of the game's existence buying this once a week with 35,000 tokens. Let's see here. 35,000 tokens divided by 1,500. I can buy it 23 times. Okay, that's almost 2 years. Oh no, 23 times. It's a weekly limit, Alex. Damn, that's like 4 months or 6 months. Well, the game will probably last longer than 6 months. Okay, yeah, never mind. They added a new sorting feature for character XP when you're leveling up, character bios. So yeah, this takes like 5 seconds to implement in the game. They're just trying to fill the patch notes with stuff this is meaningless. This is stupid. Yeah. Giant boss raid. They changed the co-op skill, so now it actually gives you a buff, but you have to corral the other 2 animals that are in giant boss raid with you to press the button at the same time. So yay, more stuff like that. There's kind of like a stealth function as well. They're going to change the process for creating a lobby, where you create the lobby before you enter it. I don't know if this will make GBR faster to start or have fewer crashes, less crashing. Hopefully it will. This might be the best part of the update. This might be like the best part of the patch notes. We'll have to wait and see. They're adding the speed battle function where you can speed up the autoplay for Timeline Battle and Otherworld Battle. I detest stuff like this. This is the enshittification of a game. This is the slopification of a game. This is the hyper casual fuckery for shit ass games. I hate this, and I think I would strangle whoever made this if I met them. Yeah. They made the epic quest and daily challenges easier. Instead of having to win specific missions, you just have to participate for Timeline Battle. So, yeah. All you Timeline Battle strugglers, congratulations. This is probably the other best part of the patch notes, where it appears that they're saying they're going to add new heroes to the support character list in Dimension Mission. Now, if you're wondering what that is, when you go over to Dimension Mission, in the corner, in the right corner, there is a little thing, and you click on it, and it says support character. And then you click the support character magnifying glass, and it shows you the list of characters that you can get. And there are premium characters here. You can see from Crescent to Magic. So it sounds like in the patch notes, they're going to be expanding this list of premium characters that you can get, and they're going to be slightly increasing their appearance rate. Now, I don't know if that means their drop rate or the appearance rate when you refresh this. I don't know, but yeah. So it says there, Dimension Mission, 30 biometrics X Gene daily heroes will be added to the support character list that can be obtained by clearing Dimension Missions, and their appearance rate has been slightly increased. This is very good for free-to-play players. They fixed an issue with power saving theme. They added a function to skip the initial Multiverse Saga event scenes. They added they made the back button work properly for the emblem collection. They added a magnifying glass for bonus missions. They added a gyroscope feature for the main lobby, so you can, you know, gyroscope your way through your main lobby. And then they fixed Emma Frost and her model. We'll have to see if they really fixed it, but apparently they fixed it. Yeah, so those are the patch notes. I'm not very happy, if you can't tell. I don't know what's wrong with the game. I don't know when the good devs are coming back. I don't know if the good developers are ever coming back. This is not good, man. This is not good. This is like the minimum effort that they can put into the game. And notice they didn't even talk about ranked tournament. That absolute turd that they dropped in the live stream. I feel bad for 3RL and the announcer. They had to reveal that turd to us and be like, look at this huge turd in the toilet. Look at it. Wow. This is what the devs have been working on. This massive turd. Yeah, I'm glad it's not in the patch notes, because I probably would have had an aneurysm reading it. Can't even say aneurysm right. But it'll probably get stealth added to the game so that the whales can, yeah, jerk each other off. I'm going to stop before I get this video demonetized. I'm not having a good time in the game, man. I'm not having a good time with the updates. They've just been so bad. So bad. I genuinely, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Anyways, guys. Yeah, man. I'll see you tonight on the live stream. I don't even want to get up at 3 a.m. for this shit, man. Genuinely, I don't want to get up at 3 a.m. for this shit. For what? To find out that Ghost Rider's slightly better and Juggernaut's bad unless you tier 4 him. Like I can already tell what's gonna happen, and then it's like whatever. It's like an hour of content, and then you're just dragging your balls through glass. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, boys, see you in the next one. Take care.